Hey guys, what's up? This video I wanted to tell you about some of my dumb shit I did when I was a kid. When I was 13 years old, I started a theft ring in my county. It was big. The bad thing was it was me, another 13-year-old, a 12-year-old, and a 10-year-old. Okay, so how we did this and got around was me and my mother went to a store one day. Well, I went back out to the car, or I got in her purse one, and I slipped the key off of her ring, her car key. Okay, while she was shopping, I went to the key making place. Had about 5 keys made to her car. Okay, I know this is dumb, but anyway. So me and my boys would, at nighttime, we would all act like we were staying at one person's house. We would push my mother's car, my stepdad's truck, whatever it was. We would push it out of my driveway because it was on a hill, and when you got to the bottom, you could start it up without anybody hearing it. Okay, we were so dumb, we were putting 60 and 70 cents worth of gas in this car, okay, and bringing it back on empty, and my mom getting in it every morning on empty, okay. So at the time, I was really into the lowrider culture, mini truck culture, all that stuff, you know. So along with that comes wheels, stereo units, you know, subwoofers, amplifiers, head units, all that stuff. That's what I was really into at first. I had a garage full of merchandise, including firearms, many of firearms, every kind of tool you could think of. I had 4 or 5 sets of different rims that people would kill for. The only thing was they were local, so I couldn't use them except for one set. I had a set of Dayton's wire wheels, and I could not help myself but to throw them on my truck. I ran into the guy that I took them off of. I ended up buying them off of him after he found out I had them. I should have got shot. I left his truck sitting on cinder blocks. And I stole his jack when I left. This went on for a couple years. We were decent kids before this. We were a little street gang, you know what I mean? In West Virginia. I'm not gonna say any names, but this grew into something that I was making a lot of money off of when I was a young teenager. The other guys were in it more or less for the rush. They liked getting blacked out, busting out windows, whatever they had to do. I instructed them on how to unhook the amps the right way without burning them up, the head units, all that stuff. Showed them how to break windows without making noise. Now, sometimes that didn't happen, but, you know, anyway, the funny part about this story is, after I hit about 15, I had another buddy that really didn't get in much trouble. He liked to drink a lot and this and that. You know, we were just getting started in high school and this and that. But we were out at a mall near my house. And we spotted a truck in the parking lot. You can tell usually when they got a system in them because, you know, they got wheels and nice paint and this and that. So we went and looked, and the door was unlocked. So there was an Alpine head unit, Alpine equalizer, all Alpine amps, And at the time, I think it was Soundstream SPL subwoofers. Well, this guy that helped me do this, he ratted me out, okay? Well, basically, he told first, so, which I wasn't going to tell anyway, you know what I mean? I had everything hid just fine. He knew where it was hid, that was the problem. I just would have I would have always deny. Got a lawyer, you know. So he ratted me out. But since then, he's been in a position that he has really paid for ratting me out. I will tell you that, because I'm getting to that. Well, he ended up later down the road joining the Air Force or the Navy, which is, you know, same branch kind of. But anyway, when he got out, all this, you know, he had to clear all this the larceny charges and stuff up before he could get in any of this. He did his time in the military. He came out, got a job as a police officer. Now, this is the guy that helped me steal this stuff, okay? I doubt any of his comrades over at the police station know about this. I won't say his name because he's helped me a lot. I've had pain pill prescriptions stole off of me. The pain pill bottles stole off of me a couple times, and this man went and writes reports, or did when I was doing that, to the doctor, and basically demanding them to give me my pain pills back because they were stolen. They don't do that for anybody. I think he thought he owed me because I took the rap for the whole thing. Except for he got charged, but he didn't get any kind of trouble. It was just on his record. So now this guy is almost the chief of police in it's not a big city, but it's a lot bigger than most cities around here. It's called Beckley. I've always, when I've talked to him, I've made little sly remarks about what we did back in the day, and he does not like to talk about it, and I understand. Another time, now this is my juvenile record. You know what? I was a little thief when I was young. I regret it because I know a lot of these people worked hard for their stuff. I did go after a lot of rich kids that their parents paid for their stuff. It may have been a jealousy thing, I don't know. But anyway, I do regret it and I apologize. But I would be riding around in my little Escort GT or my Mazda lowrider or whatever, Isuzu lowrider, and I would have all these people's systems in my vehicles, but most of their stuff was hidden. No, I wouldn't let nobody see what I had. I would have to buy a head unit, you know, the stereo, so because you had to see it. But these people never really knew it was me. A lot they caught on at the end, you know what I mean? But another time, we went. There was this dude, his bully. His name was Hank. Nothing but a bully. I hated his guts. Sorry to say that, but I said, I'm going and stealing Hank's system out of his little Volkswagen at night. So I had two other of my friends with me, so-called friends. These were the friends that were so scared of their parents that they would rat you out in a heartbeat. And I didn't know that at the time. I was just dumb. We were dumb. We would sneak out every night and do shit like this, in the summer especially. But we went, I got the subwoofers, that's all I got, and maybe a pistol. 2 days later, the police are knocking on my door. They done went and gotten statements from, we'll say, Dangerous Dave and Big J. And I was the one who had to take the rap for it again. All this only ended up in probation. That's with me. It was all it was. That's all it ever was. And Uh, no juvenile time or nothing like that. But yeah, every one of these people that I ended up getting caught with, except for my original crew, my youngsters, my other 13-year-old and the 2 other kids that lived on my street, they were solid. Those were the most solid ones they were. We would break into houses and take peanuts or Skittles or M&Ms and leave messages on people's countertops and scare the shit out of them and rob them, take their firearms and everything else. You know what I mean? I had a life of petty ass larceny from the time I was 14 till I turned about 16 or 17. And that's when I said, yo, I'm getting ready to turn 18. No more slaps on the wrist for this stuff. Now, except for when I turned into a full-blown drug addict, I was pushing 400 or 500 pounds of copper out of Lowe's almost every other day. Or Husqvarna chainsaws, whatever. Just, I had a buddy that had a fake leg, and he had a nub on his knee, and what we would do is we would go in Lowe's, and I would load up the buggy with whatever I wanted, right? A lot of times I had a big magnet that I would scan over the sensors to demagnetize them so they wouldn't set off the alarm. Sometimes you couldn't find it, but this guy would come in and he would walk about 10 foot in front of me, and he had a little button he could hit on his fake leg that would release the pressure. So he would smash the ground, just hit the ground. So everybody, I'd go out the lumber side, so everybody at the cashier's places, they would run straight to him. Everybody was there. Nobody paid attention to me walking out the door with all this copper and chainsaws and whatever else it was. It was crazy, stupid stuff. I've walked out of a store with 8 air conditioners and 2 different shopping carts before. I've pushed flat screens out of Walmart left and right. You know what I mean? Most of these times I was zanned out, so I had to get most of the courage up to do it. But I'm so glad I do not do that no more. It was such a rush that I'm afraid if I ever even attempted something like that again, that it would be over for me. Because my next one is prison time. I have probably stolen upwards just in merchandise. This is not other kind of, fraud, or I've got stories about that coming too. I've probably taken over $250,000 worth of stuff from retail stores and whatnot. We would take our copper to the scrapyard. My buddy's uncle owned it. We would back our truck up into the little bay. They would unload the copper. As they were unloading the copper, there was a big box of copper that sat outside the door. Oh, I would be standing there with the passenger door of the truck open, filling it back up with copper. Maybe more than what I even brought in. I took a load down there one time. We just had burned it. It was on a Sunday, and if you've ever burnt copper, it's black smoke. And I'm right in the middle of a residential area, and I'm like, this is so stupid. But we had to burn it. We needed our dope that day. So we burned it. I had neighbors hollering, hey, do you need to call the fire department? I'm like, no, everything's good. We just got a little bit of plastic in our fire we're up here doing. My bad, because I was smoking their houses out and everything else. I had a Honda Civic at the time. I took the copper, after it got done burning, we had sprayed it off to try to cool it, knocked off all the black stuff, this and that. We were headed to my boy's uncle's because he was the only place open on Sunday, and he closed at 2, and it was about 1:30, and we had about 20 minutes worth of drive time. So we were going through a toll booth, and I looked at the back of the car. The car was squatted down over the tires in the back. We had so much copper. I looked out my rearview mirror, and we are going through this toll booth with smoke boiling out of the back of my Honda. Well, by the time we get there, it's pretty much still hot and smoking, but not as bad. But I've often wondered how I ever got away with that kind of stuff. I got a story about the prescription pads that we stole. I will tell you that later on. I may have already told you a little bit about it, but not the whole story. Yeah, man, I've done some stupid stuff, and I have no idea how, by God's grace, I got away with it. But you know, when it come time, when we got caught, it was always me that got charged. The other guys always, they were just scared to death of their parents, and they fucked on me, man, and signed statements, you know. But I figured that was a little interesting story you guys might want to hear about my thievery and my dumbass youth. Shout out to my original gang though. They were solid, man. They was young cats too. They hung with me. You know who you are. KT, G8, GG rather, JO. That's about it. But anyway, fam, I love you guys. I just wanted to tell you guys a couple stories tonight. They're not that interesting, but you know, just some dumb shit I did. I kept my datings though. Don't think I didn't. I rode them suckers hard for years. Man, y'all be good and don't do no stupid shit like that, especially if there's any kids watching. It ain't fun or glamorous or anything like that. It's just my stupid history, and it's permanently on here. So one of these days, somebody can look back and say, Dad was stupid, Uncle Steve was stupid, this and that. I just want my story to be known, and I'm telling it slowly through here. Thank you guys for watching, man. I know it's kind of boring, but you know, we getting there. And I'm up to 82 subscribers, man. 8 more people. Y'all get me to 100, man, and I'm going to do a shout out for y'all. When I get up to 200, I'm going to give a little giveaway. So y'all keep subscribing and hitting them like buttons, and support my other people that I did the shout out videos on. Alright? Thank you guys.